Alright, hey everyone, welcome back to another Sunday live stream at Trace Trades. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you click the link in the description to join the server and attend the live stream live to be able to participate in any Q&A and charting requests we do after. But to get into the rest of the video, let's start with the weekly watch list. First, we have Affirm. Been trading this name, been watching it go through the setup a lot. And after it's broken, like our recent two setups, now we're just playing it for more upside. So just going to throw on the hourly here, wait for some of these downtrends like the one we're in right now, and then we're going to watch intraday for some clear signs of reversal like high buying volume or even like the selling volume drying up. That's really what we're looking at here. So this is probably going to be a day trade, if anything, probably targeting like 148. Like maybe we'll see 150s within the next couple weeks, but the main thing that we're doing with this setup is just going to day trade the momentum. So wait for some signs of reversal and then take like a smaller position with a tighter stop. Next we have AMD. AMD, we've been watching this setup for a while. We recently got rejected by the 50 SMA while we were about to break out, but this is an inside day, so really what we're going to be watching for here is a break through the 50, this green line here, or a break through the high of day of this candle, which would be like our starting candle for the inside day pattern. So that's like around like 108. So we're watching for a break of 108 or a move through the 60. Or you could also wait and get some retests on this line. If we throw in the hourly, it looks like we already did retest, but then like had some trouble pulling above. So again, if you want to take a more risky entry, you could take one about like 105.50. Next we have AXP. This has just been building really well towards that upper levels. If we just throw on the daily real quick. Lots of consolidation, especially in the last couple weeks. Tons of consolidation. Everything stacked up. And again, if we throw on that hourly, pretty clear like sign of, you could read this a couple ways. You could read it as like ascending triangle. You could read it as just a move upwards from support. I'm probably playing this breakout here and above like the 177, like to 177.3 mark. And a move above that should at least give us like 178 pretty quickly. And then like for as far as upper levels go, again, like it's been consolidating here for a couple weeks now. So on a break of that and move towards up here, I think we're seeing all-time highs pretty easily. Next we have BA. Absolutely massive pattern here on BA. Starting to break a little bit, starting to get some moving average crosses as well. Confirmation would be above 230 if you really want to wait for that. But I think there's decent risk reward to add down here. Again, if we throw in the hourly, to add right here and then put your stop if we break like below the gap. So maybe like around like 224.50. Just have it like a relatively tight stop there and then just play for all of this upside. Again, just some good risk reward here. Next we have Microsoft. Microsoft managed to reclaim the 50 SMA on the last Thursday and Friday, so that's really what we're watching for here. Almost an inside day, but Friday's lows took out Thursday's lows, so not an inside day, but still a decent looking pattern. Again, if we throw in the hourly, just very, very simple consolidation here. Take a trade towards support. If it breaks below, you can cut it. Otherwise, again, just solid risk reward. You have lots of upside to play with here and even a gap around like the 29.6.50. So I'll probably take that for a day trade as well. Neo, big falling wedge here. Just like straight up another inside day. I think it's just very easily we hit this 50 around like 38. So that's just a very, very straightforward trade. Again, it's high risk because the market's like kind of edgy right now. Hard to take trades, hard to take any kind of type of trade, especially swing trades. So again, size appropriately. But yeah, again, I just think there's lots of upside on this chart. Solid break, moving above our moving averages here. Looks good. Again, I'm going to save QQ and SPY for the end. But Roku, I removed our fibs because they seem to be invalidated by now. But really, easy break here. Lots of room upwards. Moving averages starting to turn. Again, this just looks like a good momentum trade, so you might want to take this as a day trade, maybe like a lotto swing on weeklies, something like that I think could pay pretty well. But again, just size appropriately. Market's still pretty uncertain as of now, but again, just lots of upside. Good risk reward. Again, you could use some lower levels here as a stop. Even Friday's lower day would work pretty well as a stop. Or use some moving averages, or just wait for the retest on this line, and then your risk is very defined. Anyway, moving on to Tesla, again, just waiting on the solid 800 break. This is really around 799, but again, 799, 800. Same type of deal, especially for Tesla. But it's just been building towards this, lots of consolidation. Made two moves beyond, but sold off like within that day. So really, what we're looking for, we want to bring up the hourly. We want an hourly close above this line, and then that would be like, okay, now buyers are starting to accept it more and more around that 800 mark. Until that happens, though, again, just watching this, I think it could break down from here. I really wouldn't feel comfortable adding too much to this until like maybe like the 7, was this like 780? I'd add it around like 780 to like 760. That might not be bad for like a longer term swing. Otherwise, again, just waiting for that hourly close above 799. For the broad market, starting with SPY, I marked some levels here that I think are pretty significant. So basically, what my plan is this week is to play the upside. If we do start to see some buying, and we get a close above this 439.69 mark, that will be a good indication of starting to take some day trades, starting to take even some longer trades, potentially. But again, still keeping it tight. Being above this line is kind of like the minimum I would need to be bullish. But again, once we do get above it, we do got this gap all the way up to 442.64. It started to enter it before, but it rejected, so this gap isn't technically filled yet. So that'll be good to see how we sort of react up here. Again, if you want to play it super safe, just wait for that clear over 442, and that also lines up nicely with the 50 SMA. As far as if we start to sell off, I'm probably not going to be buying that many dips unless we get all the way back down to here to like 434.90, and like 435 works too if you like whole numbers. That would be where I would start to buy the dip. But again, like it's not just if we get here buy the dip. You want to look at like how are we selling off? Is it high like selling volume? Because if it is, this level is probably going to be taken out pretty quickly, and then I'll be looking at like 427. Again, just to recap from what we said last week, I thought the lows from the previous Friday, the first, were going to be like our low for the next week. So that was around 427.20, around right here. We ended up taking that out on Monday by a couple points. We got to the low of 426.36, so about a dollar move there. But then after that, it was nothing but upside. So pretty decent read there. I do think that we're going to start to see some curling. This downside doesn't look great, especially if you look at the hourly, like just big fat like flag here. If that fails, like there's just so much room for downside. And like again, like something I was looking at before is like the volume profile. So we just want to switch this on real quick. You just want to look at like the volume. So if we do start to break below, like there's very little volume here. So it's going to sell off like very quickly. It's going to move through the zone very fast. It's going to get picked back up down here around again our 434 mark. But like again, start to move down here, start to move way down here. There's a lot less volume here, so we can start to make moves from like 427 down to like low 420s very quickly. Anyway, and then lastly, the Qs. Qs have a little bit more of a pattern to them. I like it a little bit better than SPY. Again, just this solid support here around like 360, and then playing towards this like upper resistance zone, like 369, like 368. Very, very simple. Again, if you want to just add on the lows here and then cut below, that seems like a very free trade. Or if you want to start to play momentum, again, our target area is like 368, 369. Zooming out a bit, looks like the Qs have caught some support on both of these lines out here. So that's good, but again, expecting some chop. I'm moderately bullish, but outside of that, again, just keep it light, stay nimble, and be able to adapt. Anyway, that's all for my weekly watch list. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you click the link in the description so you could join the server live and participate in the Q&A and charting that we're going to do after. Again, this live stream is absolutely free. You do not need to be a premium member to attend, so please feel free to come with questions.